Okay. Hello and welcome to another pre-match show live. And today the fourth T20I between India women and Sri Lanka women is going to be happen. Sorry for slight delay due to internet issues. As you can understand that Tushadi is joining from the stadium, so there are jammers and all. So sometimes it happens. But as we all know that India have been super dominant so far in this series. 3-0. The series is already in the bag. So Tushar, the big question is it time to check the bench strength? Because before the World Cup, for any team, the bench strength will be key. And for India now, after bagging the series already, through winning three games convincingly, is it the right time to experiment with some players from the bench?
Absolutely. I think, you can hear me, right? Um, yeah. So, absolutely. I think, this is the correct time to check the likes of G. Kamalini, even Harlinger for that matter, getting G. Kamalini, Harlinger, Sneh Rana, give them all a game time. Every single person at the end of this series, I mean, every single person in that 15-member squad at the end of this series should have played at least two games. Because you cannot judge one person on the basis of one game. And then you have an all format series. Say, for example, if G. Kamalini does not get a chance today, so ideally, if you make her play the next game, which means you are giving her just one game, you cannot prove anything. And then you cannot say that G. Kamalini is not good enough, so on and so forth, because that will be absolutely unfair. So I think you have to check your bench. And for example, yeah, as I said, Sneh Rana played just one game, so she should play one game. Harleen has to play two games because if you're looking at Harleen as someone who will be there at number three going forward, then you have to have her playing as well. And G Kamalini is an absolute must. But the question is, do you play G Kamalini in place of Richa Ghosh or do you play G Kamalini in the place of someone like a Smriti Mandana? And when I say Smriti Mandana or Shafali for that matter, Shafali ideally I would say do not give her a break because she's in a not only in a momentum, she has also made a comeback. So somewhere at the back of her mind, it should not affect her that, oh, you know what, G Kamalini is scoring runs, so maybe I'll be dropped again, even though I did nothing wrong. Whereas when it comes to Smriti, Smriti knows that she's definitely playing, right? Whatever happens, even if G Kamalini gets two hundreds here or two double hundreds here, then Smriti is still playing. So I think that could be an option. But again, Snatches, given Smriti's form, I don't think that Smriti is going to sit out. She would want to get a big score. Um, and if that is the reason that we are not getting in G Kamalini, then we are missing out big time. Why not um, try her in place of Richa Ghosh?
Yes, absolutely. And I also think the same that there is no chance that Smith is going to sit in this game or maybe in the last game also because right now she is not scoring that much of run. I think she will be willing
Correct.
to score some runs to get that confidence back, especially ahead of the WPL, you can say, or maybe before the Australia tour because that is the big tour coming up for India. But as you mentioned, I think where you want to play G Kamalini, that also decide that the what kind of role you need from G Kamalini.
Correct.
If you want to
Correct.
play her in place of Shefali or someone like Smriti, then you are considering her as a backup option, opening option, right? But
Yeah.
if you are
Yeah.
really but if you are thinking her as an option in the middle order, let's say in the finisher role, then maybe
Yeah.
as Trisha said that maybe replacing Richa Ghosh for these last two matches. We already
Yeah.
told this several times that from that World Cup, even before that World Cup, since many of matches, I think Richa is playing continuously cricket. I think she deserved a rest, and I think this is the best moment. Use G Kamalani for these two matches and give Richa that rest. But Trishadi, the injury that the little knock that you talked about in the last match during live shows that G Kamalani talked with the physio about some little knock, I think in her back. So do you think that will put an impact in trying hard in that playing level?
She was playing football just before I came. I don't know if she's planning to change the sport. As long as she's not planning to change the sport, she is warming up. So if she can play football, I'm sure she can bat as well. So no, I don't think that was a big deal. I did think that India will seal the series first. That would be the first what do you call that? First priority. But now that it's done, again, if G Kamalini does not play today, when will G Kamalini play? And if you are having someone as young as G Kamalini in the team, you want to give her chances, against Sri Lanka more than any other teams. So of course, that is something that you have to keep in mind. But I'm not 100% sure um, what the Indian team is going to do. But I don't know. I kind of feel that India is not going to play G Kamalini in the fourth T20I. Maybe in the fifth they will, and that's going to be a little disappointing as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. And if that happens, Tushadi, if G Kamlini doesn't get the chance in this game, then there's a high chance that India might go with the same 11, or you can expect some changes, especially in the bowling department.
Bowling department, I do think that probably Sneh Rana will come in place of N. Sri Charni. Has also got to do with the fact that Sri Lanka has got a number of left-handers. One of the reasons that you are not probably bowling 4 overs of Sri Charni, along with the fact that there are 6 bowlers and this pitch of course helps the seamers. But I think we might see Sneh Rana coming in. In the batting also, the way Harleen was practicing, I do think that Harleen will come in place of Jim.
So a big
Even in that,
opportunity get wait for
yeah, you can try G
Hallin.
Kamalini in place of Jim. Yeah, you can
Yes,
try G Kamalini in place of
yes,
Harleen
yes,
as well, and maybe give her a little bit of a time up there. So
exactly.
yeah,
And I think playing at number three will suit G Kamalani because she is a generally is a opening option. She generally opens the batting, and if she plays at number three, she will get more overs to settle down. I think it will be a very nervy thing for any batter. Playing her first game, and if she gets the chance to bat, I think if you bat at number three, you will get enough time to settle down, and I think that will eventually help someone like G Kamalani, a youngster. Yes. Uh,
but also I don't know, may not be a popular opinion, but I do think that down the order as well, that G Kamalini will suit it. G Kamalini is that kind of a batter who plays with a
yeah.
lot of freedom. So it just does not matter whether she comes as a finisher or she comes as, and this is something that I have said about Shafali as well. Shafali can come as a finisher, Shafali can come as an opener. Yeah, Shafali cannot come as an anchor role for sure.
Yes.
You can't ask her to, you have to play 50 overs. You can't put that in her
Difficult.
mind. That's a whole different issue. So I think
Yeah.
same goes with G Kamlin, and that is where I kind of am insistent. Give Richa a break because
Yeah.
Snehashil, this is something we were speaking of the record that Richa, as you said, Richa has played so many games that it's a
Hmm.
little frustrating for Richa herself that what I'm practicing every day. I'm doing half an hour drills before the practice, half an hour drills after the practice, and yet I'm dropping catches. Give give the girl a mental break. Let her come back and then get I do think that will help her wicket keeping as well because at times what happens, somewhere in the subconscious it starts hitting that maybe the wicket keeping is not working, maybe the wicket keeping is not working. But Richa cannot be only a fielder, right? So Richa will be
Hmm.
your wicket
Hmm.
keeper. So give her a break. Get Kamalini in for these 2 matches, and in Australia, obviously Richa will be your in the playing 11. There's nobody is
Exactly.
doubting that, and I don't think Kamalini is dreaming of that. As I said, Richa,
No.
much like Smriti, Kamalini knows that even if I score 200, these are the first priority people,
Yes.
and that is fine. That is all the more reason Kamalini will play freely because Kamalini knows I'm not fighting for a place. I am a backup.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely, and I also think, and one thing that you mentioned, Trishadi, that someone like Shefali cannot be a anchor because that is completely against her natural game. So I think anything role that you want to give a particular player that should go with her natural game, not against that natural game.
Correct.
You cannot force
Correct.
some player to go against that natural game to come up good for your team. So I think team
Correct.
management will keep that in mind. And
Correct.
if you see that in the last season with Mumbai Indians, J Kamalini tried in that finisher role. So I think she has that knowledge that she can be used at that role, and I hope that if she gets that chance, she can be a useful one. But Tushadi, anything update or anything good thing you are expecting from Sri Lankan camp in this game?
One thing I can tell you, Hasini Pereira and one other Sri Lankan batter who I could not recognize. were having a longish chat with Mithali Raj. So and longish chat in the sense they were talking about how batting. So let's hope something rubs off, something good comes of that discussion, because they had a pretty long chat because I had come in a little early, so I was seeing, and they were chatting. They were standing in very intense chat about batting straight, something that was happening, playing long innings, etc. But let's see what actually transpires, because I think Hasini Pereira, as I've mentioned in my preview piece as well as video, that um, looking at Hasini Pereira last game actually gave me a lot of hope. So Sri Lanka should open the batting with her. If Hasini can go like that, and for a change, if Chamari Atapattu can play a 50 run, 60 run innings, then it's a different ball game altogether. I've been saying this, but Sri Lanka does not follow it for sure.
I am pretty sure that Hasini Pereira might be asking to Mithali Raj that how can I find gaps like you used to do? Because that is very much needed for them. Don't go for those big shots. Just try to find those gaps. I think that will definitely help them.
Or maybe they are just saying that why don't you come and play for us? Just you're done for India, now play for us.
Yes, that might be another option also. But usually, before going to comments, because as we have been telling you guys, very tough to continue the chat because Sri Lanka has to do something. But
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 that's not
usually,
but that's not a challenge to you guys. So
yes. Yes, but Tushari, what about Renuka Singh Thakur? Fantastic comeback in the last game, 4 wickets. And
yeah,
as you have been speaking about the pitch, that this pitch is going to help the Simaj. So, do you think that she is playing today, or maybe again team management will decide that okay, one game played, give her some rest, and let's try her in the last game? What do you think?
ideally she should play today's game and then Aru can come back for the last game. But from what I saw, again, this is nothing, just what I saw. Okay, Aru and Kranti were warming up, so I'm not sure that if Aru will come in place of Renuka. Of course, Renuka can come in later. The ones I saw warming up were Vaishnavi, Deepti, G Kamalini, Vaishnavi, Deepti, G Kamalini, Richa. mm, Kranti and Aru was walking in. In the nets, it was Harman trying to hit big shots and Halim. So, yeah. Also, Smriti had a chat with WV Raman, and
Okay.
that was also about. I thought that was about spin bowling and how to how to tackle spinners, because WV sir was showing some footwork something. So yeah,
Yeah, and Smriti Mandana gets involved in long chats with coaches. That me and Trishadi have observed that
oh yeah.
during the whole World Cup campaign, when things do not go in her favor, I think she works very hard in the net session and gets involved long chats. What is going on? What I need to correct and all. But that is good.
And
I think.
that's why
I
the
think
team. I think that's
exactly.
why the team, everybody, throwdown specialists and all, would be praying that please, please, Smriti ko run mil jaye, bas, और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. Last day, I
Yes.
remember she practiced, she finished her knocking, then she finished her nets, then she did her knocking again, then she went off. So everybody probably thought she'll go to fielding or something. She watched whatever was recorded, she came back, she did knocking again, then that one handed, and she went back to the nets again to do knocking. So I was just thinking, everybody in the team must be hoping that let Smriti
Yes.
score, please.
Yes.
Otherwise, I think
And,
tomorrow will be a practice session. And if tomorrow
okay.
is a practice session, then Smriti is going to probably bat for all 3 hours.
Even Trishadi, you remember, I think, in Guwahati also, after everyone
Yes,
left for the pass, she came back and she went for the throwdowns for 15, 20
yes,
minutes. I think
yes.
she always there to bat.
And we
She
we
always
were
likes to
almost
bat.
we were the only ones there. Yeah,
Yes.
almost. It had almost happened that everybody had left and Snehashish and I would be doing the throwdowns with Smriti, because we were standing there and Smriti was there with one of the coaches. But yeah,
Yes. We are
she
expecting
did the
that
thing.
if we manage to go by the next two World Cups, then that thing might happen also. We were expecting that. Okay, Trishadi, take some
Yeah,
comments before
comments.
closing. Yeah.
Mm, okay. Satvik Bagaria, if India wins toss, India should bat first and really expecting Smriti Mandana to play a long innings. If India wins the toss, I hope they bat first because they really need to challenge themselves and bat first. Not to make matters complicated. But I think you should be used to both the batting first and and chasing as well. Expecting Smriti Mandana to play a long innings, yes, I'm expecting her to be extremely cautious. And England, an innings that she played against England in the World Cup, that sort of an innings where she does not try to hit much at all. Um, Jason 49 is asking, will G Kamalini get a game? We can only hope so. Anshu Mishra, hi. Saina Never is saying, hey Trishadi, are you going to cover WPL? Of course. Satvik Bagaria. Um, Trisha, if Sri Lanka bats first, you see Indian batting lineup is so deep that 160 is not enough. I think if Sri Lanka scores 180, Sadvik, every day you will comment the same thing. Every day I'll explain to you why am I saying 140 to 150. Again, you will talk to me about 180. Either I'm not able to explain things to you or you are doing it just for fun. Please tell me in the next comment what is it. If you're not understanding, I'll explain again. If you're doing it just for fun, then please. It's very hot out here and there are enough mosquitoes biting me that I'm not going to do this. इंडियन सपोर्टर त्रिशा दी अगर हरमन ने आज बैटिंग नहीं लिया तो मैं मैच नहीं देखेगा पता चला हरमन ने टॉस ही नहीं जीता बताओ
Okay.
तुम लोग बताओ अभी when I was coming Harman with had just come from the nets and she was going to the ground for the toss so yeah you know a lot of people here are confused why am I wearing the KCA badge they're like इसको तो पहले नहीं देखा KCA में um, सात्विक बागर या अंडरस्टूड आई वोंट राइट द सेम कमेंटिंग हाँ यार कुछ नया पूछो क्या कर रहे हो तुम लोग भी श्रीलंका जैसे बन रहे हो एक ही चीज पूछोगे तो कैसे मतलब सस्टेन करेंगे भाई बस
कुछ भी
डन
कुछ भी करो 120 श्रीलंका टाइप मारो फिर भी 120
एक सौ
नहीं मारो
लास्ट
फिर भी
लास्ट टाइम तो
110
120 भी नहीं पहुंचे
हाँ 120 भी नहीं हुआ तो वही है ओके आई
ऑल द
थिंक
कमेंट्स
फाइव
आर डन
मिनट्स okay in 5 minutes I think we'll get the toss update so we'll discuss about that okay but Trishadi today is a Sunday how you expect about the crowd is there any chance of getting more crowd today.
Yeah, of course, of course. There's a lot of crowd in already, and families are coming in cars and quite a few huge numbers because I did see a lot of confusion at the gates, which is something which I did not see in the last two games, of course. So, and a lot of people are aware. Like the moment I got up in the cab, they were like, "Are you going to the stadium for the match?" I said, "Yes." And they said, "Oh, acha, are you part of the team?" I said, "If I'm part of the team, why will I go in a cab, sir? I will go in a team bus." No. So, people are aware here that a match is going on, and I think because it's Sunday evening, that too, and holidays have started. There are a number of people who have come from outside. In fact, there are three families in my hotel itself who have come here for a trip, and they are ending up watching the match. So I think that's perfectly. Today there will be more crowd, and all the more reason maybe India should bat first to entertain the crowd.
Yes, absolutely. And I think now it is holiday time. I think everybody, maximum people are now enjoying their holidays last Sunday of
Yeah.
this year. So I think maybe this is the best way to possible to
Oh
spend.
yes.
Yeah. So this is the
You know the
best way
best
possible.
part about our job is you don't
We
know
don't.
when it's Sunday, you don't know when it's Monday, you don't know last Sunday, you don't know last Monday, you know nothing. You just I just know people call me and ask, where are you? So I'm like, no, I am Virendra. Oh, you have again left home. And the way people say I have left home, like And I have met this friend. This is out of context, but I met this friend. Actually, all three, four times I met him at the airport itself. So he's like, you keep going. I'm like, yeah, I keep traveling. So he was like, what is your base? I said, my base is Kolkata. He said, but I've never met you in Kolkata. I said, well, life moves on. There's a comment. Let me see what happens to the my comment on Daniel and Nikar. I also want that. So basically, Daniel and Nikar had put. I think Prince of World, you are talking about this comment or in general comment on Daniel and Nikar. So Dani had put up a post. I'm sure you have seen it. Saying that she will miss Marizane Cap.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Yeah, going for 6 weeks.
6 weeks away.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So in that, I commented below that, Dane, I hope you are also coming to India to support CAF and Delhi Capitals. I think
वाह,
Prince is talking about that.
आप लोग क्या फॉलो करते हो यार? उधर का कमेंट भी आप लोग को दिख गया. सही है यार.
Anshu Mishra is saying, Trisha Da, Trisha
वाह.
Da, very dissatisfied. I want to see Ashes MCG test today, pathetic pitch. You want to see it, but they don't want to play, no? You want to see, fair enough. But I'm not 100% sure. Are you dissatisfied by the way Ashes is going? Then I completely agree with you. Because, series like Border Gavaskar Trophy, then the India England 5 Test match series, Ashes series, forget about the media build up and all. Traditionally, when we have grown up, we have always seen these series as the, marquee series. You don't want them to end in 2.5 days. So, yeah, I'm extremely disappointed with the kind of pitch they served up. And also, it does show, Snehashish, again, this is a little away from what we discuss generally, but are you also worried that, this 2.5 days pitch, the batting also shows that maybe because of T20, good old test batting has been completely replaced, and the moment the conditions are challenging, the batters don't know what to do.
Absolutely, and I consider this as a big reason behind this kind of matches happening. I know the pitch behaved, in favor of bowlers completely because the ball was swinging and all, but earlier batters had that quality to play those deliveries more. I think now with the kind of modern batters, their techniques and all, if you see, I am not taking credit anyway from any bowler from both the camps, be it
Correct,
Australia or England. But if you see the wickets, the fall of wickets, most of the wickets
correct,
from both the camps were like giving Christmas gifts on Boxing Day, right?
correct,
Because
correct,
they were
correct.
giving the gifts, because rather than bowlers taking those wickets, they gifted those wickets. If I am giving a prime example of that,
Yeah.
Ben Stokes wicket. I think Michael Nesser
Yes.
was bowling, Ben Stokes was batting,
Yes.
Alex Carey was up to the stumps, and he
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
two slips a little bit wider. I think Steve Smith was there. I think Labuschagne was there. So it was,
Labuschagne. Yeah.
yeah. So I was there in my home, sitting in a sofa. In that sofa, I know what he is going to do. He is going to bowl that ball a little bit wider of
Sri
the off
Lanka.
stumps.
Yeah.
You tell.
Sri Lanka has won the toss and decided to bowl first.
Yes. So that thing
India
only
is
happened.
batting first.
Yeah, Harman streaks has come to an end. Now we have to bat first. Yes, but yeah, what I was trying to
Yeah.
say, that
Continue.
even I know
Yeah.
that the bowler is going to bowl to that offside line, right? So that
Yeah.
Ben Stokes go for that cut shot. So he bowled that. Ben Stokes go for that cut shot. She aces that, and it's a simple catch for the slip fielder. So I think it is very
Correct.
basic, and you expect better things from players like Ben Stokes and others, especially when you are playing for England and Australia in a test match. So I think now modern day batters also lack quality. Eh, if
Yeah.
you giving this type of pitch earlier days, this match would have lasted at least 4 days. I what I expect the quality batters that time we used to see from both the camps. So I think the pitch
Yeah.
obviously played a huge role, but obviously the batters' techniques is also questionable, especially the way they are gifting the wickets.
Absolutely. Okay, India has made two changes to the team. One is Harleen Dale is playing in place of Jemima Rodriguez, and number two, Arundhati Reddy is playing in place of Kranti Gaur. So no G Kamalini yet
Yeah.
again.
Yes. So no G
I'm
Kamalini.
extremely
Renuka is
unhappy with
playing.
the decision.
Kranti Gaur has been rested.
That part is not a problem. Kranti has played
Yeah.
3 matches. You're resting her, giving Aru
Mm.
Aru a chance. It's perfectly fine. Maybe you could have rested Sri Charni and got in Sneerana, but that is also not such a big deal. I'm perfectly fine with it. But G Kamalini, I think it's unfair. You carry her for 4 matches, then you give her 1 match. How are you going to assess her? You can't assess
Yes.
someone
In a,
till that
in a
person has played
5 minute
at least
series,
two, 3 matches.
you expect to have at least two games. At least.
Exactly, exactly. And for someone like G Kamalini, like
Yeah.
who has not even made her debut, won't touch it. Okay, I'll take the final 3, 4 comments and then we can close. Indian
Yeah.
supporter says India needs to find a mystery spinner for T20 World Cup. Hope WPL helps. I don't think India needs any mystery spinner. I think we need a leg spinner and we have. Uh, Prince of World on her Insta post. Yes, yes, I realize what you're talking about. Satvik Bagaria says, as 2026 is coming, there is Under 19 World Cup, T20 World Cup, and Women T20 World Cup. Can India win all three of these? West Indies won all three of these in 2016. Do we have a team which can produce a World Cup winning performance? Yes. Can they execute or not? It completely depends on what happens on the day. So, but I can assure you one thing for sure, Satvik Bagaria, that Red Sports will be covering all three World Cup. We will have enough and more people covering all three. इंडियन सपोर्टर से त्रिशा दी आपने बोला था कि हरमन को टॉस जीतने दो पहले हमको पहले ही पता था कि श्रीलंका बॉलिंग लेगा टॉस जीता करेक्ट करेक्ट मुझे पता था कि मैं कंफ्यूज हो गई बट हाँ लुक इफ श्रीलंका वन द टॉस दे वुड हैव बॉल्ड फर्स्ट यू ऑल न्यू जैसे वो हारे हैं पहले बैट करके कोई गुंजाइश ही नहीं थी उनसे पहले बैटिंग करने So obviously they would give ask India to bat. Prince of World says, why Jemmy not playing? Is she injured or illness? I do think illness because I've heard there is a fever bug in the whole camp. People are not keeping well, and I can understand. You know what? I have got rashes as well. That's because Vizag was, I wouldn't say Vizag was cold, but in Vizag, if you guys have seen my video, you could wear a hoodie. It was,
Mm.
and it was chilly towards the night, right? Even in the day when the sun was out, it was not as hot as it is here. So I think the sudden weather change is also affecting a lot of people. Um, I do know the fielding coach is seriously is ill. So why have you turned like that? Yes, camera has.
No, no. Yes.
Yeah. So that's about it. I think that's the playing 11.
Mm.
Snehashish, let's close the show. We have taken all the comments.
Yes. Okay. Thank you guys for joining in again. Thank you, Trishadi. And I think for the first time, we're going to see India batting full 20 overs. We expect that thing to happen. So for the first time in this series. So let's see. So let's see how many runs they can put up. What is the expectation, Trishadi? How many runs are you saying from India?
220.
220. Oh my God. Okay, I think for that Harlin needs to play very well. Let's see what Harlin does. Given this opportunity. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Let's join in the post match show. Definitely will be come back. And as we always expect India to win, and obviously we expect to go in the fifth game with a 4-0 scoreline. Let's see what happens. Thank you. Enjoy the match. Let's meet in the post match show. Thank you.